China is not catching up, it's already ahead. While the world debates, China is building the future with AI, 5G, and tech the West can't even imagine. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and truly understand what's reshaping global power, you're in the right place. Subscribe now, because the world is changing fast, and we break it down before the headlines do. Let's dive in. China's technological rise is not driven by market forces alone. It's orchestrated by the state. Unlike Western democracies, where innovation depends on private investment and shifting political winds, China adopts a model of state-led capitalism. The government sets long-term goals, provides massive subsidies, and actively invests in strategic sectors like AI, semiconductors, quantum computing, and green energy. Innovation isn't optional, it's a national priority. The Made in China 2025 initiative is a perfect example. Launched in 2015, it laid out a roadmap for dominating high-tech industries globally by reducing dependence on foreign technology. This wasn't just rhetoric. The Chinese government backed it with billions in funding and created powerful industrial ecosystems in regions like Shenzhen and Suzhou. The message was clear: catch up fast or be left behind. Chinese tech giants don't operate in isolation. They are closely aligned with state objectives. Companies like Huawei, Alibaba, and BYD receive government support not only in terms of financing but also favorable regulation and access to critical infrastructure. This tight integration between the public and private sectors accelerates development, cycles, and enables large-scale national projects that would be nearly impossible in more fragmented systems. Critics in the West often call this model unfair or overly authoritarian, but the outcomes are hard to ignore. China now leads the world in patent filings, publishes more scientific papers annually than any other country, and is building cutting-edge infrastructure at lightning speed. In short, while others argue about the future, China is building it, with full government force behind every major innovation. Walk through any major Chinese city, and you'll notice something striking. The future isn't coming, it's already here. From mobile payments to smart cities, China has leapfrogged entire stages of development. Cash is nearly extinct. Everything is paid through platforms like WeChat Pay and Alipay. These apps don't just process payments, they serve as social networks, shopping centers, and even gateways to government services. This digital dominance didn't happen by chance. China's government and tech giants collaborated to build the most advanced digital infrastructure in the world. As of now, China has more than 2 million 5G base stations, enabling lightning-fast connectivity for everything from autonomous vehicles to remote surgery. Meanwhile, the US and Europe are still struggling with patchy 5G rollouts and outdated telecom frameworks. China's digital ecosystem is also uniquely unified. While Western users toggle between dozens of apps for messaging, shopping, banking, and transportation, Chinese users do it all inside a single app. This super app model creates a frictionless user experience and a goldmine of data. With every interaction tracked in real time, companies and authorities can optimize services instantly, detect patterns, and launch innovations with unprecedented speed. The result? A society that feels almost post-digital. Citizens scan QR codes to order street food, unlock shared bikes, access health services, or board high-speed trains. Even facial recognition is used for public transport, security checks, and retail. The convenience is unmatched, and so is the level of digital control. Whether that's a dream or a dystopia depends on your perspective, but one thing's clear: China has already built the digital blueprint for the 21st century. For years, Western observers mocked China as a land of knockoffs, copying Western products and ideas without adding real innovation. But that stereotype is now dangerously outdated. China has mastered the art of learning fast. First it copies, then it improves, and now it creates at a scale and speed the world is struggling to match. Nowhere is this clearer than in cities. Like Shenzhen, once known for fake iPhones, now dubbed the Silicon Valley of hardware. In this high-tech metropolis, startups build world-class drones, robotics, and smart devices faster than their Western counterparts can patent them. This isn't accidental. China's industrial ecosystem, combined with lightning-fast supply, chains and a culture of relentless iteration, fuels innovation like few places on Earth. Education plays a huge role too. China produces more STEM graduates than the US, Europe, and India combined, nearly 5 million per year. These engineers, developers, and data scientists don't just fill jobs, they build the future. Government and private companies actively recruit the best talent, investing heavily in R&D hubs, AI labs, and university partnerships. The result? An unstoppable innovation machine driven by sheer human capital. Even the mindset has shifted. Today's Chinese youth no longer see the West as the ultimate benchmark. They're launching their own companies, building their own platforms, and competing globally with confidence. TikTok, Douyin, DJI, and BYD are just a few examples of Chinese brands that started locally and took over the world. The age of imitation is over. China is now setting the pace, and everyone else is racing to keep up. China is no longer following the global tech race. It's leading it, from government-backed innovation to futuristic infrastructure and a workforce built for dominance. The pieces are already in place. While the West debates, China builds, and the world is now watching or falling behind. If you want to understand where the world is heading and who's shaping that future, hit the subscribe button now. We break down global power shifts like no one else, and trust me, the next video will shock you even more.